Cycle syncing changed my life. I literally had no idea what this was, just learned about this in the past year or so, and it completely changed the way I was able to hack my body, my schedule, my meal planning, my workouts, my sleep, libido, all of the things to optimize my entire life. Hi, my name's Sandi Glandt. I'm a high performance productivity coach. And every single week on the Slay Your Day podcast, I bring you tips and tricks and hacks and ways that you get to optimize, streamline, and really dive into the different systems and strategies that you get to change your life, to live your life on your terms, whether it's automations or systems or different strategies, or just having the support every single week of me in your ear, where you get to hear what's working for myself, my team, and also my clients, everything from business to body to health and workouts, everything in between. I'm giving you the secrets that I wish I would have and that I'm using, not just myself, but my team and my clients to win big and to tap in to give us more energy, more time, and more freedom. Okay, so today we are getting into something a little different than we normally get into. Normally, we're talking about schedules and organization and productivity and systems and strategies and all the things. But today is a very special episode. Today, we are talking cycle syncing and how it has completely changed my life and allowed me to tap into massive productivity, massive change in my business, in my home, and how I feel and how I operate. And I don't know about you, but first of all, this is very new to me. I've been doing a lot of research and interviewing and listening to books on this over the past year. And what I will tell you is it has made a massive difference in the way that I show up week to week. So I want to share with you some personal changes that I've made, everything from my sleep to my habits to my schedules to the way I work out and meal prep, and really all of the day to day that makes a massive difference in cycle syncing, which is just a simple way to say, I am optimizing my life, my body, my choices and decisions that I make on a daily basis to follow my cycle. Yes, my menstrual cycle, that time of the month. This has been a game changer for me, and I'm so excited to share this with you today. All right. So in this episode, I'm giving you my monthly blueprint breakdown so you can feel more in control, more productive, and less overwhelmed. So in this episode, I'm going to be breaking down the four powerful phases that we have of our cycle and how we can align those with our work, our workouts, our sleep, our habits, our schedules. And we are going to align that with our hormones every single week. That is going to completely change the game. I'm going to go into detail. I'm going to give you examples and we're going to get personal. So let's dive in and let's talk about how we can do cycle syncing for massive productivity. All right. So this is cycle syncing made easy because our body is not a machine. Okay. It is this beautifully made masterpiece that, they say most men run on a 24-hour clock. Okay. That makes sense to me. Women, we are completely different. We run on a typical 28 to 30 day cycle, which is where our bodies are at in our natural menstrual cycles. So if you've ever felt like your energy's all over the place, like one week you're lifting heavier and you have a lot of energy and you don't need as much sleep and your libido is higher, but then a couple weeks go by and you're tired and you're drained and you have no energy, no libido, you feel like what you're craving and what you're eating changes, you're not alone. This is why I wanted to do this episode in particular, because once you understand this, it completely changes the game on how we operate as women in business, as mothers, as wives, even the time, and I'll share this, once we get to this week, but there's these, few weeks or days even that you might be more attracted to your partner, that you might have more energy in the gym to hit your personal best, to, put on a weighted vest and get more cardio in. Like, this is not magic, and you're not imagining this. This is a very real thing that our bodies are doing, and it's based on the 4 phases of our cycle. So I'm going to walk you through these. I broke this down from sleep, energy, libido, best foods to eat during this season, and also best workouts. So I'm so excited. Again, I wish I would have had this years ago. It would have made so much more sense to me in how to operate my home and my business and just the day to day. So let's get into the 4 phases of your cycle and how to optimize for massive productivity. All right. So the first thing I want to say about this is, now that I know each one of these phases, I have become so in love with every single one of these phases because it gives me a different purpose week to week in what I'm focusing on, in optimizing the week that I'm in. And it's actually my superpower. So this is such a game changer. Again, I wish I would have known this information years and years and years ago, but we can't go back in time. So I'm sharing this with you today in the hopes that you can now implement this and have these game changing tactics and strategies in your back pocket so you can utilize these as well. So the first phase, as we know, we're going to start with the menstrual cycle. So this is the first, let's say 1 to 5 days that you really are in your rest and reflect mode. And I don't know about you, but I used to be the girly who would dread this week because I was like, I'm just so much more tired and I need more rest and I'm not feeling my best. And you're just like bloated and like, it's not the ideal week. However, as someone who is a high performer, high achiever, I have been able to like lean into this week and actually honor my body's rest, honor the fact that like, yeah, my body does get to rest a little bit more. I get to take it a little bit easier on my workouts, maybe more in, and I'm going to break these things down, what exactly I'm doing, but we're going to break down about 6 different areas. We're going to break down productivity, sleep, energy, libido, best foods, and best workouts. So in this area, in the menstrual cycle phase, again, this is your first 1 to 5 days. This is the rest and reflect. So when it comes to productivity, best time to review your goals, best time to tie up any of those loose ends. Your brain is primed in these 1 to 5 days for that inner wisdom. So lean into it. This is also, as I mentioned, a great time for reflection, like what has been going on in the business, maybe over the past, 25 to 30 days. What are you reviewing? What can you tie up that you have some loose ends on, whether it's in the house or with business or personal goals? This is the time to do that. So that is really important in this stage of your cycle. Now, when we talk about sleep, I think for me personally, I always just intrinsically knew to listen to my body that I needed more sleep at this time. And interestingly enough, I would always need more sleep the day before I got my period. I noticed I was much more tired, like I needed more rest time. And the first and maybe even second day of my period. And I used to just like kind of beat myself up, like, why do I need to sleep more? I would just try and power through with like coffee, and that's never great to just fuel yourself with loads of caffeine and coffee. Like, that's never ideal. So I finally, a few years ago, even before knowing this, leaned into just allowing myself to get more sleep, be more rested in those few days. Again, it was probably only the first 3 days, like the day before and then the next 2 days, but allowing myself to be okay with needing that rest, going to bed early, even sleeping in. And funny enough, because we're going to talk about workouts in a minute, but like these days, I would actually be okay if I let myself sleep in and not get up at 5:30 in the morning to do a workout, because I just felt it in my body. I knew I needed more sleep. So that being said, if you're in those 1 to 5 days, allow yourself more rest, give yourself more rest, and don't feel bad about it. I'm telling you right now, do not feel bad about needing extra sleep and honoring that for your body. Now, when it comes time to energy levels, there's no there's no fighting it or forcing it, your energy levels will be low. Probably the lowest out of the whole out of all the stages and all the phases, this is the lowest that you're going to feel in terms of energy. Don't force it. Don't load up on caffeine like I was doing. Give yourself permission to rest. Like that is the name of the game in this part of the cycle, in this part of the phase. The other thing is libido is going to be low. And I'm sure you know this is a given. Your hormones are at the lowest point that they're going to be. Again, rest. Recognize that like it's okay. This is a natural thing that your body's doing. So the best foods to eat at this time, anything like warm and cozy, iron-rich foods are really, really good. So what I like to kind of lean into in this stage or this phase is like soups, stews, leafy greens, lentils, like spinach, like that's all really, really good. Also, love having a steak in the season. And from doing my research specifically about the menstrual phase of your cycle, this I've seen this laid out where it's the cycles are like seasons. So this season of your menstrual cycle is considered winter. Again, think like soups and stews and being comfy on the couch and giving your body rest. This is your winter, okay? So if you're here right now, get your sleep, honor those energy levels. You know your libido's low, get those iron-rich foods in, and just take it easy. That being said, the gym workouts, the best thing to do here, gentle movement, walking, maybe some yoga, maybe even just stretching. Like I try not to push it when I get here. Again, sometimes it's just me walking or like stretching, some like low, like very lightweight, maybe like bar workouts. Again, conserve your energy, honor that time, and know that like this is your time for reflection and rest. Best thing to do in this cycle. And so a pro tip for all of the busy moms, my pro tip for you here is to use this time to plan your mornings, to delegate more, schedule some solo time, maybe for journaling or reading or just like, again, reflecting. This is your time to reflect. So lean in, honor this time, and know that this is the time for you to really just like honor your body in this season, literally in this season.
Everyone is talking about soursop, the tropical superfruit with superpowers. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, listen in. If you suffer from inflammation, digestive issues, low energy, or low immune health, there's nothing else like soursop to help your body feel its best. But the soursop fruit is almost impossible to source in the US. So Soursop Nutrition is on a mission to bring you a selection of expertly formulated supplements that give you the benefits of soursop hassle-free. The Soursop Cell Plus Immunity Gummies are gluten-free, non-GMO, and low-carb, and they're a favorite in my house. We also love their shake boosts, which come in 4 flavors, including 2 delicious fall favorites, pumpkin and apple. If you follow me on Instagram, you'll see I love adding the shakes into my smoothies, and we even add them to our big treats for the kids. And they love baking with me. They're great for gut health, are full of fiber, and help balance blood sugars, making it a natural weight management aid. Who doesn't love that? The shakes are also 0 sugar, low carb, and gluten-free. Place your first order today and enjoy 20% off with code SANDY20 or use the link in the show notes.
All right, the next season that we have up next is called the Follicular Phase. Now, this happens right after your period ends. So this is in days about 6 to 13, and this is in the plan and create stage. So this stage right here is all about productivity, brainstorming, the best time to like plan projects, start new things. You are probably hyper creative right now, and your clarity is at peak levels. So you probably have new ideas. You have like all of that creativity is like at its highest and firing off right now. So this is peak productivity right after your period. Think of this like your spring. And this is the time that like everything's blooming. Again, it's spring, it's blooming. Everything's blooming, new projects, new ideas. This is the productivity phase, the follicular phase of your cycle to plan and to create. So a couple things that I want to mention here when it comes to sleep. Your sleep is getting better. It's getting more stable. You're getting more energy. Again, it's like you've hit the lowest point in your menstrual, and now it's growing, and it's becoming more stabilized. For your energy, just like your sleep, it's also rising. This is your time to take action. This is why you're going to see your ideas are getting, sparking new ideas, being more creative. You have the energy to keep up with these things. So this is the best time that maybe you want to create and collaborate and get into that really creative season of your cycle. The next thing that I want to talk about is your libido. Also, same thing. It is growing here. You probably notice you're, a little bit more turned on by certain things. This is because that estrogen is climbing. So you're going to notice, again, lowest point was in the menstrual cycle phase. Now we are growing with energy and libido, and your sleep is improving. Like everything is on the rise. Everything is blooming. Now, the best workouts for this specific timing, which is your plan, create, your growing, blooming, evolving stage, is going to be your cardio, your strength training, fun, creative things like dance. You can go harder here. This is not the rest and recover stage. This is the probably I'm starting to lift heavier weights. You are going to notice more energy. You're going to notice more strength. So a pro tip for my mamas here is block time for content creation, because you are going to be the sharpest. You're going to have, your ideas are going to be flowing. You're going to have amazing business brainstorming. This is the perfect time for that. Your strategic meetings, anything that you can do in this phase, because this is where it's all blooming and blossoming, and it's just going to hit you. Like that creativity is going to hit you more in this phase than anywhere else. So use this phase as your create and your planning and your productivity, because this is where all of that peak clarity is going to come from. Okay, next we have our third phase, which is our ovulation phase. And this is days 14 through 16. So it's a very small window. Now, if you're trying to conceive, this is the time you would do it. This is, if you're looking to get pregnant, you have about 2 days, give or take, but about 2 days where you are in ovulation phase. And I don't know about you ladies, but we're all ladies, women here, so I can speak freely. But this stage for me is this is my summer. This is my, like, things are hot, things are heavy. I feel it. I can feel it in my energy. I feel it in my libido. I feel it. This is also, by the way, the communicate and connect stage. Okay. This is when your body is releasing that egg, and your estrogen and your testosterone, they are at their highest. Again, like I said, I can feel it. My husband senses it and feels it. They also say in reading and researching this, that this part of your cycle is also good for just like mankind, because even if it's not your sexual partner, your husband, your spouse, apparently when you're here, we give out off these like pheromones that like help other men around you hit their high productivity levels, because they can like sense it on us. Isn't that amazing? I learned that in one of the books that I was reading, and it blew my mind. I was like, wow, it's like a musk or a scent, I guess, that you give off when you're in this ovulation phase that helps other people around you to produce. Not just other people, specifically men, like pick up on the scent and helps them to like produce more. And again, it's like an evolutionary, thing that's just built into our body. So that to me was very interesting. Again, this is your summer. This is the communicate and connect time. In terms of productivity, this is a great time for pitching, presenting, networking. Like your networking game is going to be off the charts. Collaboration, like these few days, like again, very short window of time. It's going to be it's going to be your summer. It's going to be like things are fun and free and flowing and just like in the zone. That's probably what it's going to feel like to you. So your sleep is going to be great. You might get like an energy rush here that like you stay up later, or maybe you're waking up earlier because the estrogen, the testosterone, those are at their highest levels. So you might feel like you don't need as much sleep here because you're getting that energy surge, which again, like I love feeling like I can tap into this. Your energy is going to be at its peak. Maximize your social energy here. Go out, network, meet new people. Like what I love about this so much, what I love about like breaking down these phases is that because I now know this and because I'm empowered to know and not just feel like, oh, why am I feeling bloated or run down or more energy or less energy or higher libido or lower libido, like all the things, I am so in control of it now because not only do I feel it, I can track it, I can see it. I'm so like to the book, like textbook on how I feel and how my body's operating on where my cycle is. So it's a beautiful thing to optimize, whether it's for productivity or sleep or libido or workouts or what you're eating, because now it's all working together. That's why I don't know if you can tell, but like in my voice, I'm so excited to share this because this is game changer. We have unlocked the highest levels that we could possibly reach because of this. Okay, so energy, we talked about peak energy, maximize all of your social engagements, the energy, all of that here. Libido, you're going to be the highest. This is the highest of all of the phases. You probably fall in love with your spouse all over again because it's just you're in that like love bubble and you feel it and he feels it and it's just like off the charts. So again, if you're trying to get pregnant, this is your time. If you're not trying to get pregnant, be careful here. Okay. Little words of wisdom there. The best foods to eat here are your raw veggies, your high fiber foods, your lean proteins, supporting liver detox. Like these are the foods that you want to lean into. Again, this is your summer. Think light, maybe even like your watermelons, like things like veggies, things that are light and making you feel good. Protein, obviously great for your energy. So all of that is great. Best workouts here, your HIIT workouts, your boot camps, your spin classes. This is where you maximize that peak optimal strength and stamina because you're going to feel it. You're going to feel it. You're going to have the energy. You're going to have the libido. You're going to have all of the things. Like I would say I wish I could live in this zone, but I think it's so important for our bodies to cycle through all of these because again, we need to prioritize sleep. We need to prioritize slowing down from time to time. And this is why this is so, so powerful. But this is a beautiful stage to be in, being that, like I said, it's summer, things are flowing. They're, just at these high peaks. So really, really lean into this. Pro tip for the moms here. This is the time to schedule the play dates, the date nights, the events, the sales calls, the networking meetups. Like you are magnetic in this time period. Like anything that you can think of that is expansion and visibility and growth, like this is that window of time. Again, get those date nights in, schedule like the fun stuff here because you're going to feel it. You're going to have the energy for it. You're going to have the stamina for it. So this is where you are magnetic and glowing and flowing and doing all the things. This is, as I mentioned, your ovulation stage. So the communicate and connection time is all happening here. Can we just talk about how bedtime used to be for us? Oh my gosh, you guys, I was hanging off one side of the bed. My kids were laying sideways across the entire bed. And my husband, he was literally falling off the bed. Don't even get me started on the stiff necks. We were actually at the chiropractor more than we were sleeping. We just thought that we had to deal with it until we found Alaskan King Bed. Now we can actually co-sleep without the kids kicking us all night long. Everyone has plenty of space, and my husband finally stays in the bed. And we all wake up feeling refreshed, like we actually slept the whole night. because we did. If you're a growing family like us, this bed is a total game changer. More space equals more snuggles, less stress, and so much more quality time. And that was the true reason why we fell in love with this bed. Trust me, you will never go back. So head on over to AlaskanKingBeds.com and use code SANDY for a discount. Wishing you and your family sweet dreams from my family to yours. Make sure you head over to AlaskanKingBeds.com. All right. And the fourth phase is the luteal phase. And this is about days 17 to 28. This is where we look at the focus and finish. So after ovulation, which was again, just those like 2 or 3 days, you get into a phase where progesterone takes over. Okay. So let's talk about productivity here. Great time. Now, this is your fall. If we're talking about seasons. This is your fall. You just came off of summer. Now we are transitioning into fall. So this is where you want to wrap up your tasks, complete any projects, get organized. Great for any detail work. This is where you really tap into just kind of wrapping things up, because remember what's next. You go into your menstrual phase after this. So this is the stage where you really want to wrap things up and tie up any of those loose ends. When it comes to sleep, it might get a little worse here because again, progesterone takes over, and it's really good to like go to get to bed early here, or just give yourself more of that space where you can wind down and prioritize your sleep. Like I would prioritize sleep in this stage because it might get a little worse, especially from just coming off of your ovulation stage. You might notice a little dip here. Okay. With your energy, with that being said, your energy starts high in this stage because it's almost like there's 2 stages because it's like about 10 days, 9 to 10 days. So because it's days 17 to 28, there's like the front end of this and then the back end of this. The front end of this starts high. So your energy starts high and then it slowly dips. And if you think about it, it's slowly dipping. And then because now you're going from this stage, from your luteal phase back into your menstrual, that's where I said in the beginning of the menstrual stage, the first day, like before my period, I get really tired. That's because everything is just slowly declining, right? So like you have to honor your body, especially in those, like, I would say the last week of this, or like maybe 5 days of this, you're going to notice a lower libido, lower energy, sleep quality is going to decline. So you're going to notice these things. It's not like it's going to be when you're on your menstrual cycle for that week, but it's going to slowly decline here. So just be aware of that. Just notice that. So the best foods for this time are your warm, complex carbs. Sweet potatoes, brown rice, magnesium-rich foods, dark chocolate. Oh my gosh, I love my dark chocolate. So I feel like this is a stage where I'm like, okay, I'm doing something really good for my body when I'm allowing myself to eat these foods. So bananas are also great for magnesium. Maybe you do like, bananas with some dark chocolate and you make, you freeze them and you make yourself this like amazing dessert. So good for magnesium, so good for giving yourself that mix of those complex carbs. Those are all great things to eat. Also, that being said, best workouts are moderate movement. So Pilates, strength training here, but you're not going to be at your peak. So you can still strength train. You're still going to have a good amount of strength to lift and to, maintain that. Walks are good. Slow flow yoga is good. Again, the first part of the stage, you'll notice you'll be a little bit stronger. You'll have more energy. But as you get closer and closer to the menstrual part of the cycle, you're going to notice it will decline. And I know for me personally, like, again, in that day leading up, maybe sometimes even 2 days leading up to my period, I will feel it. And I'm like, whoa, like I feel like I got hit by a bus or something. I'm like, my energy is low. I feel like I'm just lagging and dragging. And then like the next day will come and I'll get my period. I'm like, oh, there we go. Now, I also want to share with you, I track all of this. So I have 2 ways that I track this. So the first one is called an app called Flow. And this is great because it shows you exactly where you're at in your cycle. It shows you like which stage that you're in. I also track with my Aura ring as well. For me, I just use the Flow app because there's a little bit more information in there. I think that has been great for me to track on. So again, moderate movements, your Pilates, your strength training, your walks, all great to do here. And then this is a great time. This is my pro tip for all of the busy mamas out there. This is a great time to prep your calendar. So the last few days are lighter. So again, you're going to be going into your menstrual phase. Plan extra rest in there, plan extra time for you to wind down and just honor your body because you know it's coming. Okay. So lean into the systems and the routines here to avoid the overwhelm, because when you know it's coming, you can plan. You are so more and better equipped with knowing what this calendar and this strategy looks like, because you can actually track it and know it's coming. So I would say, pro tip here also, track your cycle. So use your app or a calendar so you know which phase you're in and you can optimize for each phase. Batch your tasks. So align your business, your planning, your workouts, your food, your socializing, your rest days. Like all of these things will make a massive, massive difference in how you show up. If you're out there networking on your menstrual cycle, you will probably not last as long. You probably won't be as excited or as expansive. You'll be like, I just want to go home and curl up on a blanket and like have a nice cup of soup and, just be in your own little cocoon. Like that is how I feel. So again, plan accordingly. This is going to totally change your life. And then give yourself grace, because we as women are not meant to operate on a 24-hour cycle like men are. So if you can tap into this and use this planning, use this cycle syncing as your superpower, it will be such a game changer. I am so excited that I got to dive in and share this with you all today, because whether it is your productivity, whether it's your sleep, your energy, your libido, the foods and the workouts, we can optimize this in a way that will truly fuel all of your goals and what you're going after in a way that you have never done this before. So if you haven't already, subscribe to the channel, share this with at least 3 women, because sister, I wish I would have had this years and years and years ago. And if you send this off to someone today that might not know about this, or maybe has heard about it but isn't quite sure about this, you will change her life. You're going to change her life and her systems and her sleep and her habits so she can reach her goals in a much more effective and efficient way. So send this off to 3 women and comment below and let me know, what did you learn today that you didn't know before? Or if you have been around cycle syncing before, drop us another tip below so that we can share the wealth of knowledge, share the goodness, and also make sure you're subscribed, because when you subscribe, every week I pick 3 new winners to enter in a giveaway of prizes, everything from my Slayer Day book to a call in the High Performance Academy or a one-on-one call with yours truly. So I am so excited to have you here in the Slay Your Day community. Comment below. Let me know where you're coming in from. I cannot wait to hear from you. And until next time, make sure you go out and slay your day.